Hey everybody, Tim from Pool Fits here. Today we're going to measure an emerald shape on-ground pool. The emerald shape's a very common shape in many of the on-ground brands, including Rockwood, Champlain, and Driftwood. Accuracy is a very important part of the process, and we'll teach you through our video and other tools that we have on the Pool Fits website exactly how to measure your pool accurately.
Working safely is always at the top of the list here at Pool Fits. Before you begin to measure your pool, please take a moment to ensure job site safety. Consider and be aware of any potential hazards. Talk about safety with those you are working with and those viewing the work. Work safely through each part of the project. Ensure everyone working around the pool can swim and has access to a flotation device. Secure the site from children and pets. Review the job site for potential trip hazards and remove them where possible. Ensure that electrical cords are handled appropriately and not exposed to water. Today we are measuring an on-ground emerald-shaped pool. The emerald or Grecian shape is quite common among several brands of on-ground pools, in particular the Driftwood, Champlain, and Rockwood brands. All of what we do today can also be applied to measuring an octagon-shaped on-ground pool as well. The tools required to measure an emerald, Grecian, or octagon pool for a liner are a 100-foot tape measure, a 10-foot tape measure, chalk, ordinary pool vacuum pole, a plumb bob, along with a common bulldog-style paper clip that can be affixed to the plumb bob's line, a Pool Fits measuring sheet, and a black ink pen. Using chalk to draw small lines on the deck of the pool at the end of the straight walls can assist in the measuring process. These lines need to be drawn at 90 degrees to the end of the straight wall, as shown. This process should be repeated at the end of each straight wall around the entire perimeter of the pool. Measure each straight wall, either on the deck using the chalk marks or, if accessible, measuring right at the bead receiver. Both methods are shown here and will produce the same result. Using a Pool Fits Onground Emerald measuring form, record the measurements accurately to within 1/4 of an inch. Always use a black ink pen so that the final document can easily be transmitted via facsimile or PDF. Here, we are measuring the overall length of the pool as called for on the Pool Fits measuring sheet. Take this measurement in 2 places to ensure that we record an accurate measurement. It is important to keep the tape measure taut when taking the measurements, particularly those that require the tape to go over top of the pool water. Repeating the process used to take the overall length of the pool. We take the 2 width measurements at the end of each of the pool's straight walls. The length and the width measurements are being taken from the edge of the coping or the bead receiver to the opposing edge of the coping or bead receiver. Taking the pool's diagonal measurements as called for on the Pool Fits measuring sheet is the next step. Diagonal measurements are required to cross-check the overall length and width measurements, diagonal corner measurements, and to account for the pool being out of square. Measuring the pool wall height is critically important. Taking the measurement from the base of the pool wall to the bead receiver is shown here. The bead receiver is where the pool liner clips into the pool's coping. Confirming the pool wall height in several locations around the perimeter of the pool is always a good idea. Using the bulldog paperclip is an easy method to achieve a very accurate measurement of the depth of the pool. Here we are setting the bulldog clip to 48 inches from the tip of the plumb bob as our best guess of the overall depth of the pool water before we take our first attempt at confirming the actual measurement. By threading the plumb bob line through the bulldog paperclip as shown, should the paperclip slip off the line, we eliminate the risk of the paperclip falling to the bottom of the pool and the needless frustration to retrieve it. On a pool with a dished bottom, as shown here, take several measurements to find and record the deepest depth. With the point of the plumb bob touching the bottom of the pool, adjust the bulldog clip on the plumb bob string until it is at the water surface line. This may take several attempts. Measuring from the tip of the plumb bob to the tip of the bulldog paperclip with the plumb bob line taut but not stretched, we record a measurement of the water depth to be 50 inches or 4'2". A common mistake is to record the water depth measurement as the overall pool depth measurement. This is not correct. In order to get that full measurement, we will need to measure the distance from the pool water to the bead receiver, as shown. We then add the incremental distance from the pool water to the bead receiver to the total pool water depth to get the overall pool depth between the bottom of the pool and the bead receiver. 4 foot 2 inches plus 6.5 inches for an overall pool depth of 4 foot 8.5 inches. Measuring faceplates is helpful in determining what type of faceplates you will need to complete your project. Please make note of these measurements and keep them on file for future use. In this case, we are measuring the size of the light. This light is an aqua lamp low voltage light, which is common in the pool market. In addition to replacing the faceplates, the aqua lamp can easily be upgraded to an LED multicolor light. In some cases, you will consider or need to replace the pool coping. You can see here where over time the PVC pool coping on this pool has cracked along the track that holds the pool's fitted snap-in cover in the winter. Replacing the coping is straightforward, and PoolFits can assist in identifying and supplying the appropriate replacement coping. When replacing the coping, you will need to identify the types of corners on your pool. Taking a few pictures of the pool and sharing them with PoolFits, along with your measurements, is always a good idea. PoolFits also recommends taking pictures of the various pool faceplates and providing these pictures along with the quantities so we can ensure you will have all the proper parts on hand to complete your project efficiently. Including a picture or pictures of the pool coping at the same time is always helpful in determining the type of coping required should the coping need to be replaced as part of your project. Working with PoolFits, we will get this pool looking better than new in no time.